Hello learners, welcome to LMTI Maven Learning Series number 6. So today we are going to discuss about the topic called as an life cycle. So which is pretty much very important topic in the Maven, because Maven works only with the help of the life cycle. And if you haven't watched my previous session, so please check it out, because all the sessions are interrelated. So now let me just open the project which we have created, and in this project I have mapped the cucumber code. So I have created the feature file, and then I have created the corresponding step definition and the corresponding runner file. And if you are unaware of the cucumber framework, so I will update the link in the description, so please refer how to use the cucumber framework at the high level. So how we execute the script in the cucumber framework, in the sense, so generally we will be having the runner file, and we will be right clicking, and then we'll be clicking on the run button. So pose that our automation execution will begins. So generally in the real time, so we execute the automation script only with the help of the runner file. Okay, so which means whenever we are running any of the test script in our framework, so generally the temp files will be created. So so now my script is successfully executed. It is just a simple login scenario. You could see there is some folder called as a target. So the target is a folder which stores all the temp files. So before each and every run, so we should clear the temp files so that the execution will be much faster. And how we are going to do that, in the sense, only with the help of the life cycle. So, or in other language we can say, like based upon the phases and goals. Okay, so only with the help of the phases and goals, the Maven work internally. Okay, so how the Maven work internally, in the sense, only with the help of the phases and goal, and where these phases and goals are available, in the sense, under the life cycle. Like if you open your IDE, at the right side you could able to see the logo called as an Maven logo. So just click on it, and under which we will be having the project. If we expand the project, we are having three things: so lifecycle, plugins, and the dependency. So we discussed about the dependency in the last session. So now if I expand the life cycle, so it is having multiple phases. Like it is having clean phase, compile phase, and test phase, and install phase. So these are the three main phases which we will be using in our automation script. So when we run this clean phase, the clean goal will be executed. So under each and every phase, so the goal will be configured. Okay, so either the phase may be associated with, okay, so associated with either one or more goals. Okay, so if I use the clean phase, so it will execute the clean goal, so which is nothing but it is going to clear the temp files. So now what I'm going to do, so if I just click on this clean, and if I click on this run button, so it will execute the clean goal, and it will remove the temp files which is present in our project. You could see the target folder is deleted, and if I scroll to the build is successful, it says deleting, like D automation tutorial, learn more LMT. This is the project name under which the target folder is deleted. So why it has deleted the target folder, in the sense, because whenever we are executing the automation script, all the relevant temp files are captured in the target file. So before executing each and every script, so you should run the clean command so that the execution will be much faster. So in the real time, so we may execute the script in the server. So while executing the script in the server, so we may run this Maven commands. So we can also call this as an commands of Maven. So initially we run the uh, like uh, clean phase. When the clean phase is executed, the clean goal will be executed. And similar to that, like we are having something called as an compile phase. So whenever we use this compile phase, so the compile goal will be executed. Okay, so what does this compile goal used to do in the sense, like it generally like compile the project with the needed Java version. So whatever the Java version like we have configured, so it will compile the code and it will check is there is any syntax error or not. So one and only if the compilation is successful, so we can run the coding. Okay, so we always used to do the compile. And then like we are having something called as an test phase. So this test phase is very important. So whenever we execute this test phase, it will execute two goal. So one we call it as a compile goal and other we call it as a test goal. So which means initially, so whenever we run this life cycle, right, whenever I run this phase, right, it is going to execute two goals. So that is what I told. So like a single phase may be associated with one or more goals. So it will compile and it will run the test. So in the real time world, so we won't like right click and we won't right click and run the necessary runner file. So instead of it, all the configuration will be done and we will be using this Maven command. And whenever we say test, so it will compile the test and it will execute the test. So if we need to execute the test, then we should use the uh, command called as a test. So I will show you the practical implementation. So how to configure and how to run the Maven script with the help of the test command, so that like it will be helpful like whenever you are integrating your code in the any of the CI/CD servers like Jenkins or the Bamboo, etc. And apart from that, like we are having some other phase, so which we call it as an install. So whenever we click on install and when we execute this install phase, so the install goal will be executed. And what it does in the sense, like it will just validate the pom.xml with the .m2 folder and it will check if any of the file is missing. If any of the file is missed, so it may download the necessary file and it will be placed in the .m2 folder. And even whenever you are configuring for the whenever you are configuring the Maven for the first time, so like you can just reload the Maven or you can run the install command. So it is pretty much it is going to download all the required dependency from the public repo to our local repo. Okay, so at the high level I can say, so the compile phase is used to compile the source code and the test phase is used to like test the compiled code. And then like the install phases like used to like install the dependency from public to local repo. Okay, so generally, so the Maven is purely associated with the phases and the goal, and we are going to use this phases and goals and we are going to do the execution. So I will explain in the next session so how to configure this phases and goal and how we are going to achieve the execution with the help of the phases and goal. So thanks for watching this session and keep learning.